Hello everyone and welcome in another video from my Power of 3 Time Series where we're gonna look at a trade I took during New York AM session and how the framework that I gave you in the last episode translates into the chart. So without further ado, let's get with it. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna look at our daily chart. So here we are on the daily, and we're gonna look at what key PD array we have on the left where price could possibly drop to after we swept sell side liquidity here. So this is where we swept sell side liquidity last Friday. Okay, and so we want to know where to look at. So the first logical PD array that we see is this daily volume imbalance. Okay, I've marked it here. And you would want usually to look for imbalances or any sort of inefficiency like a fair value gap or anything like that to frame um, your narrative. Okay, so now after we did that, let's drop on a 5-minute chart first and let's put our indicator that I gave you last time on the chart, so like this, so you can see how the magic unfolds. Okay, and before we dissect what happened, I just wanted to make a quick note that in my last video I have wrongly said that the closing anchor point of the indicator should be at 4:15 p.m. It should be at 4:59 when actually the last 1-minute candle of the day for futures contract is printing. Okay, so then future contracts close until 6 p.m. So that's why you have to move your anchor here to be at 4:59 p.m. Okay, the closing, I'm talking about the closing here line of the indicator. Since then I've corrected this and it is now by default settings it's going to be here 16:59. So that's sorry, here the daily end hour will be 4:59 p.m. Okay, so this will make the cycles much more precise, and we're gonna go through this in the series, and I'm gonna show you how and when each cycle starts and ends. And if you've seen the indicator, used it on your chart, you have already seen it, but I'm just urging you to change your daily ending anchor to 4:59 before you look at where each cycle ends and a new one starts. Okay, so anyway, let's see what happened today. So first of all, we have our three parent cycles, which are the daily accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, the green box. Okay, within each of these we have our level 2 or micro cycles, okay, with their own accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and here accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So what's fascinating to see, if you focus your attention, usually the biggest move will happen during manipulation phase, like the daily manipulation and the daily distribution phases. So these two will give you the largest moves by far. Okay, and you know how Michael always tells you, if Asia prints a large range, one directional run, and they decide to pump the market or dump it during Asia, you should avoid um, avoid trading or at least minimize risk, that's because, yeah, the move has already been exhausted. And usually the manipulation will not manipulate as much, and the distribution phase will not distribute as much. The market will simply not have such speed and momentum. Typically, I mean, it's not 100% rule, but typically it will happen like that. So here we have again today a classic market. And once again, during manipulation phase, we have printed the low of day. You see it here. And then we are since then moving up. Now, what's fascinating to see immediately also is where, like, where we started dropping here. Let me make it bigger. Here, the actual drop, so the beginning of this manipulation move down of the daily Judas swing started here within the level 2 manipulation cycle. So from 810 until 850. That's your level 2 or micro cycle within the larger manipulation cycle, where the market will usually print the top if the Judas is going to be a down move, of course, and the bottom if it's going to be an upward move. And then during distribution, went up to the 50% of this wick. See that? How candles are respecting it. 1, 2, 3 attempts to go through here, failing, and then we have a massive drop starting at 920 and going all the way until 1015, when the manipulation cycle ends and the distribution cycle begins. Okay. And isn't it fascinating that once again the reversal before the actual Judas starts happened within the micro cycle of manipulation. It's fascinating, really. It happens so many times. It's there almost every single day. And I'm sure once you put on the indicator on your chart, you're gonna see it, and it's going to be there consistently, week in, week out. So make sure, guys, to check it out because it is something extraordinary. And this is not something new. I have to say, this is all just proof of concept. It's proof of concept for Michael's 2016-2017 core mentorship. These times coincide with the times Michael is teaching during the core mentorship series. So if you see, for example, your Judas swing, what is that? It's from 650 until 1015. Okay, this middle parent cycle. What is the New York kill zone that Michael is telling you, like that Michael is teaching in the core series? It's from 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. That's the New York kill zone according to the 2016-2017 core mentorship series. It coincides with this cycle that I gave you. So from 650, which is basically the macro, the 7 a.m. macro when it starts, all the way to 1015. So until 1010 is your 950 to 1010 macro, and then 1015 we start distributing. So you can immediately see how these cycles, they coincide with what Michael is teaching. But once you put them on your chart like this, we're gonna reveal the magic and the real power behind Michael's teachings, because this will help you visually see, because for example, I'm a visual guy. You can tell me the market is gonna top between this and this hour, bottom print the low of day between this and this hour, but um, unless I see it like this, I cannot imagine it. I'm a visual person. I need to see it with my eyes in order to really appreciate the logic behind it. Okay. Anyway, so once we see where the Judas originated, then the market drops, prints this low of day. Where is it printing it? This is your daily volume imbalance. Look at that. And if you, let me make it bigger, if you print your 50% level, you will see how the market is respecting. Let me remove the indicator for a bit. Here is your 50% of the daily volume imbalance. See the respect, and then market reacts. Okay. All right. So in order to now show you, sorry, my execution and the logic I used, let's drop to the 1 minute chart. And let's put the indicator back on. Come on. I lost my indicator. Just give me a second. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the logic I used is very, very simple for entry. It's basically the 2022 model, where you're gonna have the market dropping, um, engineering liquidity, then we have an intermediate high here, then sweeping liquidity into a key PD array, so that's daily volume imbalance, and then we displace higher above this high here. We move above this high, which is our market structure shift, with a displacement. So this is here the displacement at 1035. Entry. And I can't really see the second entry, but there is one within the FVG and one is above it, in case price decides to run without me. So and I was shooting. You saw the execution in the other video. If you didn't, make sure to watch that as well. We have relative equal highs here, which were swept relatively easy, and then we have here minor buy side liquidity, which was my first partial, and then second part, like full TP was at the next liquidity level. And I was not actively sitting on the chart, and I couldn't really micromanage the trade from my computer. The only thing I did was moving my stop loss to break even once the first partial was secured. And then ultimately price went to these relative equal highs here, where you also have your midnight open. And we are right now playing around this level, around midnight open. And let's see how price delivers. Okay. So this is the trade today, and this is the logic unfolding in front of your eyes. So if you don't believe this sequence works, I highly encourage you, use the indicator, use the settings that I told you to use, and you'll see it for yourself. Just go back on the charts every single day, see when the high or low of day printed, see how the 3 cycles are actually delivering price, and I'm pretty sure you'll be convinced, because it is mind-blowing the clarity that you're gonna get just putting this on your chart. Okay, and I'm giving it for free, so go and play. Anyway, that's enough for today. I will be coming with more videos and more examples in the following days, and I'm going to be revealing even more sauce about the power of three and using uh, this particular sequence. Okay, so stay tuned for more videos, and if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't miss another video because I am sure you're just a step away from being profitable, and I hope we can achieve this together. Okay, so until I speak to you guys next time, I'm out.